Today's recipe is ofada sauce and ofada rice. Do you know that one of the most authentic ofada sauce recipes emanates from Egba in Abeokuta, Ogun State? One of my grandmoms used to run the biggest, okay, let me not say the biggest, one of the biggest restaurants in Lawanson. If you live in Lagos in the early 90s and 2000s, yeah, she still cooked up to 2000s, you would know of a spot in Agbenla Street where they sell an egba sauce. Yeah, that's my grandma. All right, so today I'll be sharing with you how to make a finger-licking ofada sauce that even your kids cannot resist. Let's go. There are many ways to make this sauce. This one I'll be sharing today is very special, very dear to my heart. But because I love you, I'll share with you. Now let's go through the ingredients. Number one on my list is palm oil. See, you can never get this sauce right if you get it wrong with your palm oil bleaching. I remember then as a kid, whenever I would go to visit grandpa, oh my god, there'll be lots of smoke around the area and I couldn't figure out why it was always smoky at night. Apparently, my grandma used to bleach her oil the previous night in preparation for the sauce the next day. So to get your ofada sauce, you need to get your oil right. Bleach your oil very well. Next on my list is the offals, the intestine, inu, that's what they call it. Your shaki, your liver, all you can find, mix it. The more the merrier. Now this next one is quite important. This is the difference between how your ofada sauce tastes and how the ofada you like to taste outside your house tastes. So that ofada I think is fantastic. The difference between your own and theirs is a pepper mix. So I'll share my ratio with you. For this one, I used a mix of the bell peppers, the green, the yellow, and the red. I didn't want something too harsh on the palate, too spicy, because my kids are going to be eating it. So I realized this mix works just right. It has the subtle hotness on the underneath, and it's sweet. So if you can mix this, fine. But if not, just use the green pepper and the green scotch bonnet. So the first thing I'll be doing is to fry my meat. If you notice, my oil is not hot, like hot. You can see it's not making that sound. Yes, it's warm. Have you noticed that there are some meat you eat? They call it tinko in Yoruba. It's crunchy, but yummy. So how they make it is you put it in a warm oil and leave it to cook in the oil. So that way it cooks on the inside and outside and has this crunchy, soft feel. If you've eaten it before, you'll know what I'm talking about. So while it is cooking, you let it cook till the oil is hot. Then it will be properly fried on the inside and on the outside. Thank me later. I mentioned earlier that I'm using a combination of meat, the intestine, the offals. So I started frying my beef firstly. I really don't like my offals fried, so I just fried my beef to get that crunchy feel. Then after that, I'll stir in my offals. So they just steam slightly in the oil, not to get dried, not to get fried, but just to steam nicely and coat the flavor inside. So when you put in your ofada sauce, it releases the flavor gradually and has a wonderful taste. By now my pepper has been pureed. I forgot to mention something. If you watched my video closely, you realized I split my bleached oil into two. Yes, I removed about a quarter of it and kept it aside. I'll let you know what I'll do with it soon. So when you're making it, split your oil into half or 3/4 to a quarter portion. Then you keep a quarter aside. I'll let you know what to do with it in due time. At this point, my pepper mix is pureed nicely. You have to puree it, blend it roughly, not a smooth blend, to have the texture, right texture for your sauce. Yes, I've pureed it, and I would fry it into the oil when my protein, my beef, has been nicely fried. Yes, so I'm taking it off. They're fried to perfection. Remember, the offals are not to get crunchy, they're not to get dry. They're just to be stirred nicely in the oil to give it a better taste as compared to adding it boiled. So I'm taking them out now in preparation for the sauce. After this goes out, my sauce goes in. I would fry that for a while, fry it properly anyway. My sauce, the first thing that goes in is your castor bean seed. We call it iru in the local Nigerian market. So, yes, iru, woro, yeah, that's what it's called. Just ask them if you're in Nigeria, you get it. You can get it dried in the local African stores if you live outside Nigeria. So I just stirred my sauce in hot bleached palm oil. Stir nicely and cook till all of the fluid in it goes out. For it to fry to perfection, it takes a little time, so you could leave it and go on to do other things.
A few moments later.
If you cook often, you can tell from the looks that it is fried, almost ready. At this point, we would stir in the other palm oil. Can you peep my rice? Yes, the Ofada rice is steaming nicely on the other side. It doesn't have so much requirement to cook. Just boil like a regular rice, but be careful, it has lots of stone on the inside. Yep, I'm adding my crayfish now. Yeah, I forgot to mention when I was listing out my ingredients. Yeah, I put a little crayfish so it doesn't overpower the taste. I've tried it with crayfish and without crayfish. For this particular recipe, I love it with crayfish. All right.
A few moments later.
While I was cooking, a little bird whispered to me and said, this thing would taste better with beans. So I had to just sneak in some beans. You can see it boiling by the side. So we're having ofada rice, boiled beans, and sauce. Okay, now I'm adding that palm oil I told you about, the bleached palm oil. Yes, so when you fry it, it gets very dry and loses moisture. So now this palm oil that goes in reintroduces the moisture to it and enables it fry nicely without getting burnt. Do you understand why we do that now? Mommy's little assistant is just beside her while we're cooking. He makes great company, you know. Alright, so my sauce is almost getting ready. Now I'm adding the fried protein, the beef, the offals, and everything. I forgot to mention, some people might say, the oil in this thing is too much now. Waiting to happen. The secret is, after frying, you can dish it out and put in the refrigerator. When you need to make this sauce again, you can use it. You can also use it to make other ethnic dishes that require palm oil. Your eforiro, your ila alasikbo, your ewa, your beans, your what's that thing called? That beans and corn dish. I can't remember, Sha. Or you can use it for it. Egg is fantastic in ofada sauce. I just introduced my egg, so when you put in the sauce, it absorbs the sauce. You know that thing they say, "En toti mata." Yeah, that's what it is. So you stir it nicely and leave to simmer. When I was learning with my auntie, she would tell me, Moji, ma bomi sinue. But most times I'm always stubborn. I find myself sneaking a few cooking spoons of water in it because I want it to boil out nicely. You can leave like this, or you can be stubborn like me and add some water. Trust me, it doesn't alter the taste anymore. Remember the meal I was trying to remember, your adalu, your beans and corn. Yeah, it's actually nice in adalu. And of course, it is nice with ofada rice. You can pair with regular rice, boiled yam. I even hear some people do it with bread. I haven't tried that though, but in fact, I don't think I will try it. You can eat it with spaghetti. You can eat it with macaroni. It is nice. If you watched this video up to this point, I appreciate you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. And from me to you, it's bye for now.